Hello, hello. We're here again for another episode of CRM Success Secrets. My name is Mary Sue Dahill, and I'm the host. And today I have Meggin Reeder here as my guest. And let me share a little bit about Meggin. She is a third generation woman owned small business. And she wanted to take the time to understand what makes you unique so that she may provide financial advice and solutions that help you grow, manage, protect, and plan for the future. She specializes in helping business owners and their employees meet their goals and objectives. And she enjoys connecting with clients to resources that benefit their vision and mission. And I should say she works with Northwestern Mutual. So I've known Meggin now for about almost a year. She's a part of the networking group that I'm in, and I've really enjoyed getting to know her and her enthusiasm for helping business owners. So thank you for being here, Meggin.
Thank you, Mary Sue. It's an honor.
Yes. Well, do you want to share a little bit more about what you do with business owners that are your clients?
Sure. I mean, the majority of the time I use my prior life as a recovering banker. I like to tell people to look at how people manage their finances because the number one cause for divorce in America is over money. The number one cause for decline of a loan is because of poor credit and the lack of personal guarantor net worth. So I knew something was broken in the system. And after spending many years as a banker, I was always told, you're a weird banker. Why are you doing this for me? Why are you helping me fix my credit and my credit score? And why are you helping with my financial plan? You don't get anything from it. And fast forward, I said, you know what? Maybe I should be doing that. And so I've started my own business right out of the pandemic, basically, and said, I'm going to help people be who they are to their best of their ability. A lot of financial planners and advisors, they just tell you to open a specific product or service, and they're not giving you that counsel on a much deeper level. And I offer that for my clients. I help them. You want to grow and scale your business? Cool. Then we need to be lendable. In order to be lendable, we have to have good credit. And in order to have good credit, we have to have good cash flow and understand leverage and understand where you are now and where you want to go and create sort of a map, as it were, to get there. Of course, there's deviations to every map. Whenever you're on a road trip, there's always something that sidetracks you. But the idea is you still have a plan in place to get you to your final destination.
That's awesome because I know for me, money is not or financial stuff is not my forte. So it's always helpful to have an expert just kind of walk you through the process. Well, the reason I invited you on to this podcast about CRM is because you use the CRM regularly and you are very focused on keeping track of your follow-up and everything in there.
I am. I love CRM. I don't know where I'd be without it, to be honest. Excel spreadsheet land, which is such a colossal waste of your time.
Yes. When did you start using it? Like did you use it when you were a banker, or did you really just start using it when you started your own business?
So I have been using some form of CRM probably since 2007-ish in banking. And I've had all different kinds, all different varieties. But I've been really, really, really heavily focused on using CRM the last 5 years, probably, is where I've really figured out how to make it work for me. Because everyone has to make it work for them to the best of whatever they're focusing on, right?
Yes. Well, and I appreciate you sharing because I know that you have goals on meeting, new people and the follow-up, because nobody's like immediately going to say, yes, I want your financial services support. Well, maybe you do meet some of those, but most of them, I'm sure, require that nurturing.
Mm-hmm. Every relationship requires nurturing. So absolutely, you're right.
Yeah. So could you just talk us through your process when you meet someone new?
Absolutely. So when I meet someone new, I typically, complete an approach is what I would call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people call it, an initial meeting, what have you, but I call it an approach. An approach just allows me to share what I do with possible clients, centers of influence, prospects, fellow networkers like yourself. and allows them to share what they do. And it's just a
Hmm.
matter of putting your listening ears on and understanding who you are, what you do, why you do it, and make sure the road goes both ways. Once I've met with someone, then I put a note in my system based off of our conversation. I kind of listen for opportunities in that conversation, right? I'm not selling anything in our initial meeting. I don't want to. I don't want to be that person. But I'll just listen and I say, okay, I identified maybe, an opportunity for help with, college planning or retirement planning or business planning, succession planning. I hear the seeds, right? You
Right.
look for them, you dig around for them a little bit, and then I just make notes of them. And then I'll go into my CRM software and say, there's a possible opportunity for X, possible opportunity for Y. And I create an opportunity for each one, as well as, the client profile, an overall opportunity metric. I can rate people as A, B, C clients, things like that. So then I can focus on building my business, right? Because I have a business too, around helping others build theirs.
Hmm. That's neat. So I like how you're saying, you have your client contact record with your notes, but you're also identifying where you think this could go.
Yep.
And how long would you say is your kind of average time to develop a relationship that becomes a client?
Oh, that is an excellent question. I think it depends on if it's a retail client or if it's a business client. Because as you
Mhm.
know, working with business owners, it's a much longer process than working
Yeah.
with an individual. So individuals, I'm usually converting them within 30 to 45 days
Okay.
from meeting them to them being an actual client. For business owners, I would say on average, probably 3 to 6 months.
Okay. That's not that bad. And how many times are you kind of reaching out to them to touch base?
I reach out with people as often as possible. So whenever I put in meet with someone, I literally go in and call them again in 2 weeks or call them again in 30 days. Or so I perpetually put activities to stay in touch with people. Therefore, it falls on me because as a salesperson and a business owner with goals of my own, if I
Mhm.
don't pursue the people I want to work with, then I can't expect them to circle back to me. We all have busy lives.
Right. And they could meet another financial advisor in the interim and forget they talked to you.
Indeed. So yeah, I just make sure I put those notes in and use my scheduler tool to say put a task in. Reach out to Mary Sue, make sure things are just going good. See if she had a good summer. Talk about her children, her animals, whatever things that came up in our initial conversations. I can put those notes in there so it reminds me to ask you about those things.
Cool. And so I know you're part of Northwestern. So are you sending out kind of nurturing newsletters or of any kind, or does Northwestern do that?
Nope, they don't do any of those things for me. I
Okay.
can set up engagement CRM software to automatically send out pushes based off of whatever my clients might be interested in. So if they're interested in business succession planning and I have a good article I'd want to share, I can send that out to anyone who's interested in business succession planning as a general knowledge blast, right? Um,
Hmm.
and I can focus it into however I want. And then Northwestern does have sort of cookie cutter things I can send out to remind people, oh, the annual limits for contribution to retirements are now this. Here's this something you can push
Right.
out to all your clients that they're aware of it.
Those are all good topics. I this year I have been doing a lot more follow up, like personally. I think prior to 2023, I was doing a lot more automated follow up, and it did work. I don't want to say it didn't, but the personal follow up, like what you've been talking about, where you create tasks for the next touch base, has been far more effective than anything an automated follow up could do.
Absolutely. 1,000% agree. Automated follow-up just kind of keeps you in their brain, but
Yeah.
it doesn't show them that you actually have a heart and compassion.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't see your personality as much. And there's just something to be said with a little, that personal touch that you can get a lot. you can do a lot with automation, but yeah, I have found that to be true as well. And I think the tasks to just, a tickler system of your follow up is very easy to set up in any CRM.
Absolutely. And then tag it with your opportunities to make sure that when you're following up, you can plant little seeds about the opportunities you thought about.
Yeah. Do you so if you have these opportunities with the different types of services you offer, do you have content that you also share over that time that's specific to those opportunities, or
I think it depends. So right now there's a lot of conversation around helping people with obviously college planning.
mm-hmm.
Small business owners have a unique college planning access that an individual might not, but all the same. And so I will send articles that might find on the internet, or that might be posted on the Northwestern Mutual's website as a whole, and share that information as I follow up. So I might say, oh, I know we were talking about your kids. College planning is one of the topics that we want to work on. Here's an interesting article I came across. Here's the link. And then I'll summarize. So I won't. They can send the link and click on it if they want to, but odds are they're not going to click on the link because people don't
Right.
click on it. But I will say the bullet points basically of what this link says, and kind of plant that seed a little bit more, nurture it a little bit more, or maybe I'll get a seedling out of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you use any kind of AI tools to help you?
I'm sorry, you broke up.
AI? I know I'm dropping this question on you. I didn't tell you.
No, I don't use any. Well, that's a lie. I know that Northwestern Mutual uses AI at some level because I get a marketing campaign intelligence that says we've identified this list of clients that could potentially be interested in this product or service. And I'm sure an individual is not sitting in the back office somewhere doing that. It has to be AI.
Right. How do you find most of your leads?
Word of mouth, referrals, introductions, personal networking, business networking. I talk to everyone. I'm a human butterfly, or a human bumblebee, maybe I should say. I'm walking around pollinating all the time. So majority of my clients are introductions from centers of influence or existing clients. And right behind that is grassroots networking. Like when we, meet up through Nexco, and, I go out to a local brewery where people are exchanging business cards, a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And what has been the most useful aspect of your CRM over the last 5 years that you've been really using it?
I love putting target close dates in my CRM. I think that's that is a very important thing to me, because as a business person, right, I'm coaching business owners to do their very best. I need to live by my own advice. And I know how much revenue I want to generate for myself, my family, and my household on a day, a week, a month, a year. Most of the time it's monthly. I set myself with monthly goals to subsequently meet my annual goals. But I can put target dates and then dollar amounts that I could possibly generate from a particular sale. And those two things help me go into my opportunity pipeline and say, oh, if I wanted to make $1 million this month, then I need to make sure I follow up with this prospect and that prospect to get me there.
Yes, I would agree with that, because I have a pipeline. Initially, I didn't put any dollars on there, and then I started to, and I was like, that really is a motivator to see in this stage I've got a chunk of money sitting there, and if I just nudge it forward. Yeah, it is very motivating.
Helps track your peaks and valleys of your business.
That is so helpful. Well, any other secrets you want to share about how you go about building relationships?
My biggest secret is something that is being talked about constantly now, is just being your authentic self. Just be who you are. How many financial advisors have pink hair? Probably me. But pink hair and rose-colored glasses, I'm okay with that. Be your true self. Don't be afraid to be who you authentically are, because that's what people are actively looking for is people being themselves.
Yes. I love that. And your CRM, with the way that you use it, allows you to like really shine that through and make those connections.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing about how you use CRM in your business and how critical it is, but also just that you really connect with people where they are. Um, and the CRM really just facilitates your natural kind of relationship building approach.
Well, thank you. It was a pleasure. And if anybody, my one piece of advice to anyone who may not have a CRM is just get one.
Yeah,
Just do it. You won't
I
regret
agree
it.
with you. Yeah, it will really make a big difference in your business. So, well, thank you very much, Megan. And that is it for CRM Success Secrets. And again, my name is Mary Sue Dayhill, your host.